What up, peeps? Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Timeless Gamer Show, and we are back. Where our games and our bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain. Hey, timeless, and we are streaming live in Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And for all of our archive videos, you can still check them out by going to the YouTube channel, Timeless Gamer Show, or just going to our website, timelessgamers.com. We are not joking, guys. We really do have a website, so please check it out. uh, be nice to Sir JDM right down there. And you can still listen to us talk by the audio version of our show by going to your favorite audio streaming platforms out there where you get your local podcast. Okay, we would like to take this opportunity to show our thanks to BitMap Books and Streamyard, and of course, our Retromancy cohorts, Studio.ph, Apple Emporium, Retro Unlimited, and the Sega Mega Masters podcast show. And uh, previously, in the Timeless Gamers show, we did a movie review of The Wizard from 1989. And if you want to see the roasting of that movie, roasting or turkey basing, so to speak, of that said movie, you know what to do. For this episode, it's going to be a very special one. It's one of those challenges that we impose to ourselves. It's the fishing video games, okay? And this topic has been in the back burner for a while as well. And we're like, what the hell? All thanks to Sir Joel. It's his topic really. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
before we go to that, let's introduce the panel for tonight. We got Sir Jose right there, Dark Gothic Fate.
Hey guys, we're here talking fishing. I don't know what else to say. Joel's here to teach us all to be masturbators. So
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not like you guys already don't. Anyway.
How to touch a rod.
Oh yeah.
there you
There you go.
How to touch our rods, indeed. And
So,
Sir JDM.
yes, good day, timeless gamers, and welcome back to our show. And I hope we can get you hooked into fishing games while um, you're watching this show.
And we never run out of fishing puns, guys. So please forgive us. And of course, the said master baiter of the show for tonight, Sir Joel.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are. This is Joel Baklit of the Banyagi Native channel, specifically exclusive here on Timeless Gamer. And this is my topic. It's fishing video games. You guys are going to love it. You guys are going to hate it. The important thing is that you guys hear about it and form your own opinions. Talk to us in the chats below or in the chats after the show. We'd love to hear from you. All right, Joe.
All right, thank you for that, Sir Joel. And as per tradition, we are now going to do our show and tell. Where in this segment, we just showcase and brag and tell the story on how we were able to procure various gaming or pop culture related items for the last few days. Let's start off with Jose. What you got?
I don't got that much, but I found these Nintendo Switch skins. It's Hello Kitty themed, so I need to attempt to put this on. And then I have these two. I'm drinking one already, but it is this Mega Man G
Ooh.
Fuel. And there's also
Is it an empty can or?
no. These are unopened. This is the one I'm
Of
currently
course.
drinking. And then
Are they just soda or what?
no, it's an energy drink.
Energy drinks.
And then I showed
Oh,
this
how
cat,
very Mega Man of you.
but these Yu-Gi-Oh colors.
And the Yu-Gi-Oh coloring books
Yeah, so
already done.
not yet.
Not yet.
That's it. I really haven't been buying anything recently.
Ooh, blackluster soldier. Let's not let the world know of our forbidden love. Thank you for that, Sir Jose. Hey, and how about Sir Joe? I know this guy has a few.
Well, yeah. I mean, in terms of what I got for this week, not much really, because of the fact that the sales have not been very good recently. Haven't been able to get too many games on sale, but the spring sale on Woot.com is on, and I'm definitely going to be getting some games off of that this week. Though, the what came in was a game series that I've been ignoring for a long while. It's called Cat Quest. And this one, I got the Cat Quest, the Furtastic trilogy. Surprisingly, Joe, I think you, a JRPG guy, might enjoy this one. I got this one specifically for the fact that it's got all three games on this already: Cat Quest 1, 2, and 3. And it's an RPG, cats duking it out, good versus evil. You might enjoy this. You are basically taking on characters, taking on quests, RPG style, and you guys might, those of you who do play classic RPGs like dungeon crawlers, Dungeon Master, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy. I've heard very very good things about this, and this one being the physical copy, physical is going away nowadays, and I'm just very sad about it. That's why I'm trying to get as much video games, physical and compilations as I can. Cat Quest: The Fantastic Trilogy is what I'm showing off this week. I'm gonna give it a whirl over the weekend because of the fact that I am attending Alexandria's dance competition. Alexandria is my daughter, and she's gonna be at the Meadowlands World and Meadowlands Expo, and it's Generations of Dance. I believe you guys might want to tune in on the YouTube feed if you like dance. Anyway, back to you, Joe.
All right, thank you for that, Sir Joe. How about Sir JDM? Do you have any?
Uh, I have one. It's generic Xbox 360 controller
Mhm.
for this. I bought for someone because someone hired me to fix his Xbox 360 console, and if he asked me if I could fix it and if I could check if it's working, and um, let me just get the phone. It's NTSC system.
Nice.
It's working. It just doesn't have like this to play. It has Sonic Generations, but the disc is so scratched. It looks like it's been played by a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only
Speaking of
problem,
Cat Quest.
and I think he lost the his login to Xbox Live
Oh
because
no.
I tried um check. I think he doesn't have any access to it, the like the email account. So what I
Mm.
did is I tried to log into my own Xbox Live account and
Mm.
just signed in.
Nice.
Um, Maybe I'm going to get some cheap games. I tried it. It has Dance Central installed in it, Dance Central 2, and I was playing it. I don't know if I send it through the chat. I was playing this. I was dancing to this tune, like an EDM from
Oh
the early
no.
2000s,
Dance
and
Central is really good. My brother has it. I think that's the one with the Connect, right?
yes,
Ah, that's
the
cool.
good thing, it has the connect. It's working. You just
Mm.
have to like adjust the angle so the sensor will work properly.
Mm-hmm.
And I had fun. I had my cousins had fun dancing around with me. It's a
Mm.
good. This cheap controller was really helpful just to set up the console. Uh, That's it.
Very nice.
All right. Thank you for that, sir. JDM. Uh, as for me, I only have one. Uh,
Mm.
I saw this in one of our retro video gaming stores here in Queensland, and I got I don't know how to pronounce this, Yggdra Union
Reunion.
for
Yeah.
the PlayStation Portable. Okay.
Nice.
The original one came out for the Nintendo DS, or was it Game Boy Advance? I think yeah. The first one came out of the Game Boy Advance, and the PSP release is a little bit more. Uh, a, is it a port or a remaster? Well, there are. Well, definitely there were some enhancements that went into this game. It's more of a strategy. It's a strategy, war like uh, JRPG. You know what I mean? Like one army here, and then your army there, and the army that annihilates the army that who's left standing wins. Basically,
Mm.
uh, it's only $75 when I saw it in there, and then I'm like, $75, and I went straight to eBay just to see what's the asking price on eBay prices. It's usually like 150 at least US dollars, and this is only like 75 Australian dollars. It's already there. The manual's here, and I'm like, might as well, you know. I mean, not always that you'll see like a video game right in front of you that has a cheaper asking price than what eBay is asking for. So yeah, so I got it for my collection for the PSP. That's it. That's it for me for now. Um, so let's get into the festivities, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about fishing now. Uh, I believe this would be the second video game genre that we're gonna talk about in terms of simulation, because the first one that we did was the racing games,
Racing games. Yes. Mm-hmm.
and now we're talking about fishing games.
Mm-hmm.
So and believe it or not, the racing games topic was also Sir Joel's topic. So we're doing another one of his now.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll give it now to Sir Joel. Go, Sir Joel.
All right. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the world of fishing video games. All right. I know. A lot of us Filipinos are not into fishing as a sport or as a hobby. It's not really something that is in our blood or something that it's in our culture, but it is something that is kind of big in other parts of the world. Here in the US, there's an entire sports channel that's dedicated to fishing, Wired to Fish. There's also fishing competitions and events, bass fishing, over in sports channels like in FSN2 or something like that. So the thing about it is, it's something that has been lurking in the background, swimming around in the background, shall we say, of a lot of cultures, and has also gone into its it has also made its way into other video games. Some of the most popular video games have fishing as a side quest or as a mechanic that everybody has indulged in. Games like Far Cry, games like Breath of Fire, games like the Final Fantasy series, the latest one, Final Fantasy 15. Remind me, Joe, you are the JRPG guy. It also had fishing games inside of it. So we are not going to be talking about fishing as a side quest. We are going to be talking about fishing video games as a standalone video game for this episode. A little backgrounder: fishing. The basic idea. Everybody knows what the basic idea is. You have a rod. That's the fishing pole. Usually, it's called a rod. Jose, you're gonna have to help me out here because my knowledge of the esoteric aspects of fishing tackle is limited. But yeah, there's the rod, there's the line, which is the string that you connect to the rod. There's the hook, which you connect to the very end of the string, and bait and lures. Bait is like live worms or little pieces of meat that you add to the very end, and lures are little artificial things like Rapala plastic pieces that are very shiny that fish seem to be attracted to. These
Mm.
games, these are video games that people have started to get into. And mark my words, they're going to be the next big thing in video games. You know,
A rod. So a rod, a hook, a
Mm,
bait, and a lure.
mm.
Sounds like me on a date.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sinker.
You see Joe walking around. He's the embodiment of a fishing video game with with when it's a date. There you go. But yes, in general, we are going to be talking about fishing video games that have been in existence ever since the beginning of video games. It has been in video gaming since the early Atari days. There's a fishing game I completely forgot the title of. It's two guys in two parts of two ends of the screen, with rods trying to get fish that are swimming around at the bottom. Very simple, very rudimentary, and it doesn't simulate fishing at all. But as time has progressed, a lot of video games have started getting into simulating actual fishing mechanics. Some of them have leaned towards the arcade style. Some of them have leaned towards the hardcore, like trying to get the feel of sitting around waiting for a fish to bite for a long while. Of course, they can't go to the point where you're sitting around for hours drinking beer. I mean, you can,
Oh my
but,
fucking god! He's not kidding, guys. He's not
yeah,
kidding.
yeah. Joe is has experienced it firsthand. But yes, there's a whole gamut of fishing video games that will lean from arcade style, where you are getting strikes. Terminology, Jose. What's a strike?
Catch.
Catch. Very, very good. Yes. A strike is when a fish bites onto a hook, and you pull on the rods hard so that the hook catches on the fish, and you start reeling it in. That's all, exactly. That's it. That's a strike. Now, there's fishing games where a strike happens every 5 to 10 seconds. There's fishing games where a strike happens once every 30 minutes. You can't have they can't actually simulate a game where you're sitting in a boat waiting for hours on end waiting for a fish to bite, because people would get absolutely bored by that. A video game is a video game, and you go to a video game to enjoy it. So we are going to be delving into fishing video games from the dawn of time up to the modern age right now. I have challenged all of my compatriots here in Timeless Gamer Show to choose one fishing video game, to play it, try to see what the mechanics are, to see how they enjoy it, to see what they hate about it, and to see what can be improved. And of course, the most important part, if you have screenshots of your biggest catches, show them on the episode. Sad to say, you guys on the audio podcast are gonna have to watch it live if you want to see our biggest catches for this episode. All right, who wants to go first? Nobody? Fine. Okay, I'll go first. So when it comes to fishing video games, I have to relay my experience. I was absolutely ignoring the genre about a few years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, but one particular game showed up, and Joe might do me the favor of showing footage of it on screen. It's called Bassmaster Fishing 2022. One game showed up on Microsoft Game Pass, and I decided, heck, it looks like something I'm the kind of guy who plays genres that are completely out of my what's the right word for it, baluarte, out of my
Wheelhouse?
out of my wheelhouse or whatever. And I saw it. I said, we'll give it a shot. You know, what's the worst that can happen? I get bored and I throw it away. So Bassmaster Fishing 2022, I went into it. I learned the mechanics. I played with it. I thought, I'd play it for an hour, and then I'd completely forget about it. This is the definition of a good balance of a game that has. This is the definition of game that has good balance between arcade style mechanics and simulation. You can actually do a lot of settings here, like how much tension your tackle can take, how much drag it should definition, Jose.
I don't know on that one.
Oh, you don't know that one. Drag is how much a fish can pull on your
okay.
tackle before it breaks. So you can control that in the game. because you can basically you are feeling how much a fish will fight before you start reeling it in. The idea of a fishing game is once a fish strikes or bites onto the hook, you have to fight with it so that it tires out and you can start reeling it in. You can't just once a fish bites and you start reeling it in, your tackle is gonna break. Either your line is gonna snap, or your rod might give way. It might actually you might actually break your rod. So a fish surprisingly is very strong. Once it first bites, you let it pull away from you a little bit so that it'll tire itself out, and then you start reeling. It's what's the right word for it? It's the core mechanic of fishing games. Not just the waiting, not just the drinking beer all throughout. You once the fish bites, that is the moment when you feel like everything comes together and you fight man versus nature. You are the core of it is that if you don't win this battle, you're gonna go hungry for dinner. So that is, well, not necessarily in sport fishing, because the idea of sport fishing is once you get the fish, you let it go. It's catch and release. But in the old days, you catch a fish, you fry it, you eat it. So in this case, Bassmaster Fishing 2022, you go out into the water, you throw your line, you hook a fish, you fight it, you feel how much tension it is, and you reel it in, and you weigh the fish at the very end. I will show my biggest catch on this game later on in the episode, but yes, this is the game that started it all for me with my fishing video game adventure. That the very definition of fishing video game as a simulation is that it's all about the fishing. You're not going off to save the world and fight the big bad demon god, and for relaxation you're going to a cabin and fishing. No, a fishing video game is the entirety of fishing in a video game. So in this case, my first fishing video game was Bassmaster Fishing 2022. This game will always hold a special place in my heart, and it's definitely, this shows how much of an arcade experience is as a fishing, an actual fishing. You don't get to see the line and the hook and the lure at the bottom of the water flying out across as you reel it. No, you can't do that. If you want total realism, you're on the boat. You're just watching your fisherman reel the rod in. And some games actually do that. You can't see what's happening under the water, but this one allows you to actually kind of experience how the lure is flying through the water, and the chance that a fish might bite into it. And the moment that the fish does bite into it, it's quite exciting actually. So this one is the start of my fishing journey, and I've started delving into so many video games that are based on fishing going forward. So that's my introduction. Guys, if you have anything to pitch in as to what your opinion, there you just see that fish. It's starting to get interested. That's when you start wiggling oh, there's two. Oh, that's quite exciting. You're trying to get the fish to get interested and bite at the hook. There's even a moment where the fish will get so excited it zooms towards the lure and bites into it, and that's when you fight it, and that's when the fight starts. So guys, I this episode is a challenge episode. I'm treating it as one of Dan Faulkner's challenge episodes, where I throw out the challenge to my compatriots here in Timeless Gamer and tell them, play this game, play this genre, and tell us what you like and dislike about it. We did that before with Dan Faulkner and shoot 'em ups. Oh, we got beat up on that one. I threw this challenge out to my friends here in Timeless Gamer Show, and I want to hear their opinions on the challenge. All right, let's start with JDM. Yeah, JDM.
Am I going to talk about my game now, or
Yeah, go ahead. If you want to talk about your game, go start with it.
so? Yeah, for me, I don't really play fishing games. I just
Mm,
see it on ads and on the magazine. But I tried Fisherman's Bait for the PS1,
mm,
because that's the first fishing game that I saw in gaming magazine. I tried it, but I didn't like the arcade style of fishing.
Mm-hmm.
I like a more like like a simulation. So I found Rapala's um what's that,
Rapalus Pro Bass Fishing. Okay.
Pro Bass Fishing for the PS3.
Oh, I'm showing the PS2 version right here. Rapala Pro Bass Fishing.
I'm not
PS2.
sure if it's a port of
Mm.
the PS of that game,
Mm.
and I didn't even know that there's a PSP game as well. But this is the one that I saw.
Mm.
It somehow looks like the previous game that Ninong Joel showed.
Yes.
Um, it's more on a simulation side. You could um, use a motorboat
Mm.
to find a location where to fish. There's a sensor that can see fishes underneath the water,
Yes.
and you go there. You don't even have to like look at the monitor. You can see birds hovering around
That's
trying to
true.
look
Yeah.
for fish as well, because
Mm-hmm.
as we know, birds are also fishermen, something like
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
And I think they can catch better than me
I
without
mean,
a rod or a lure.
I mean,
And
nature has provided them with hundreds of thousand years of evolution. So yeah, it's true. Mm-hmm.
so so you go into the water. So that's my character right
Mm-hmm.
there. Very generic. There's no it's a simulation game, but you can't actually um like do your face
Mm-hmm.
in the game. Just a generic Chad of a man
Yeah.
that you can although you can customize his outfit. So there you go. You use this motorboat to sail through the waters, and there are challenges you can see, as you can see in the video.
Mm-hmm.
It's a challenge on how you can. It depends. I tried one. It's like a challenge on if you could um, like throw the lure in the exact
Mm-hmm.
position in the
Yes.
water.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of
Oh,
luring,
the
you
fight
can
is
also.
on. Look at that.
I, I think that's a catfish.
Yes, it looks like it. Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. You cast the lure, then you eventually you hook a fish, then you fight with it. You can pull
Oh, that's a
the
big one.
you can pull the left stick, left
Mm-hmm.
or right, uh, depending on which direction the fish is going to. If
Mm-hmm.
it's going on the left, you must pull it to the right, like the opposite direction. So the line doesn't break, because if there's too much tension on the line, then
Mm-hmm.
it's going to break.
Yeah.
And eventually, um,
Oh,
if
there's the
you try
bird right
to
there.
keep it in the center, you will like fill this meter
Mm-hmm.
above on of the screen, above the fish that
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to hook. Then it will allow you to go on attack mode, where you could reel the fish really hard,
Mm-hmm.
reel in the fish really hard. Then it doesn't last long, so it's like about 5 seconds
Mm-hmm.
of that action, and then eventually the fish will get tired. I'm really I can't really stop laughing whenever it says that the fish gets exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
I just laugh every time I reel, because the fish. it it for me it's like the fish doesn't have like any strength to, or will to
Mm.
fight it anymore, so it just follows where
Oh yeah,
you try to reel it.
that's
Just
that's the
gives up on life.
idea. Yeah, that's the idea.
It
You
just
just
hangs
have
on this.
That's the idea of fishing. You have to fight the fish to the point where it gets exhausted, and then you start reeling it in. And that's the mechanic. Honestly, it's the most fundamental mechanic of fishing video games. Once you hit the strike, you have to exhaust the fish, and then you reel it in.
Yes, and so since this is a simulation game, you can choose which lure to use, because
Mhm.
there are certain fishes that doesn't like the lure that you're using.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to change your lure, or the size of the lure. It has small, medium, and large. Sometimes there are fish that likes small lures.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's the color. You can see whether the fish are attracted to that lure, specific lure, if you go to the encyclopedia and there's a star. So there are 5 stars. If it has 5 stars, then they're quickly attracted to it.
Mhm.
Um, that looks like a lightsaber. And so yeah. But for the simulation part, it's just the lures. You're choosing where to fish. Um, it doesn't. Yeah. You can also change how you move the lure around. There's like what the slide and sweep,
Yes.
something like that.
Mhm. Yeah, there's certain movements that you can do with
Yeah.
the rod, so that the lure moves around a certain way, like
Yeah.
side to side, up and down,
You,
left and down, things like that. It kind of
right.
increases the attractiveness of the lure, so that the fish are likelier to bite.
Right. And there's also like a freestyle movement that you could use, but it may take some time to um, learn.
Hmm.
So I'm just using the default sweep style. And
Yes.
then what I do is, this is something I learned from Breath of Fire 4.
Hmm.
You move the lure like in Morse code,
Oh.
because there's music in Breath of Fire 4 when you're trying to um, fish something.
Yes.
There's a music that has like drums, like
Rhythm, basically.
yeah, there's a rhythm. So I'm trying to use that. Then sometimes it attracts fishes, sometimes it doesn't.
Hmm.
Sometimes when I try to, if for example, if I try to cast the line,
Hmm.
then it it doesn't hit the spot that I would like to uh, get. If
Hmm.
I'm trying to reel in, sometimes fish just suddenly get hooked.
Hmm.
And I just start fighting the fish, and that's it. So
Hmm.
um, let's see. Uh,
You know something?
I
If I can interject, I love JDM's choice. This one in particular, it has a permanent place in my PSP and on my Steam Deck. This one, Rapala Pro Fishing 2010, is surprisingly deep. There's so many things that you can customize with it: the weather, the time of day, the type of fish that you want to look for. There's even challenges like monster fish they call them monster fish, where if you they even have names for these monster fish that are so large that they have become legends on their own right. And you are issued challenges to try to find these monster fish in all of these lakes and these rivers that you guys are fishing at. It's this one, Rapala Pro Fishing 2010, that JDM has chosen, is one of my top 3 fishing games of all time. Excellent choice, JDM. How there it is. He caught a monster fish. There you go, the Mekong.
That's monster fish.
Yeah, well, that's I mean, in terms of weight, Some of them
Yeah.
reach as high as 15 to 20 pounds. A sturgeon can reach as high as 70 pounds. You'd be surprised. So overall, JDM, did you enjoy this game, Rapala Pro Fishing 2010? Objectively speaking.
Yeah. Actually, I got hooked with this game,
Mhm. Yeah, there you go.
and I didn't realize that I'm actually enjoying it in my
Mhm.
subsequent playthrough, because the first time I tried it, like 2 weeks ago,
Mm.
um, I didn't really
Click.
like enjoy it the first time,
Mm.
because there's like a lot of um, because of the simulation part where you need to choose which lure you have to use,
Yeah.
and um, looking for specific locations. But thanks to the monitor that's in the
Mhm.
on your motorboat,
Mhm.
it really helps. But it doesn't show you which fishes are
Oh
underneath,
yeah.
so you need to like go somewhere else,
Mhm.
where's to
Yes.
some location in the lake where you
Those are
would like
called
to
fish
fish.
finders, by the way.
Yeah.
The one at the lower left of the screen, that's called a lowrans, a fish finder. It's like radar. It shows you where fish are in at the bottom of your boat, but it doesn't show you what kind of fish there are.
Yeah.
Sorry, rate sonar. It pings downwards and it shows you that there are shapes underneath your boat. It's at least in that respect, the game does not show you exactly what fish there are. You really have to
Yeah.
cast out and try to see what's available to you or what bites when you throw that line out. So overall, JDM, I hear that you're enjoying it. What did you not like about it?
Yeah, what I didn't like is, at first you have this if you have you're first playing it, you only have two uh Sir J
Mhm.
Malos is on the chat, and he said JDM
JDM
got
got
hooked.
hooked. No
No
pun
pun.
intended.
Yeah, there's a
Actually, this
lot of fishing
Mhm.
reference in
Yes.
this.
Actually, this is a great moment to pause for a moment, JDM, and acknowledge the guys who are in the chat and are watching right now. Hello, everybody. Thanks very much for watching. I want to hear, I want to see Kurt Labrado's anecdote. He says, big bass fishing for PS1 taught me how to fish. Was able to catch three against my uncle, who was a fisherman, and my father, who lived near the sea. There you go. That's showing them, Kurt. That,
I never thought he's into fishing, because
oh, I mean,
Kurt, if people are new here, Kurt Labrado is my friend, is
mm,
my former colleague,
nice.
like 5 years ago,
Mhm.
and I didn't know that he's into this, because
Mhm.
uh, I I know he's a fan of FPS shooter games, but
Mhm.
I didn't know he's also playing.
Mhm.
He's
And of
into
course,
fishing games.
Thalamic Bridge on Twitch says underrated video game genre. Absolutely agreed with you that one on that one, Thalamic Bridge. It is so underrated. It's so unappreciated. Honestly, my opinion, it's going to be the next big thing. FPS shooters step aside. Fishing games are the next big thing. Anyway,
The next big fish.
yes, it's the next big catch. Anyway, JDM. So overall, how would you give the what rating would you give this game? 1 to 10.
Um, if I'm going to rate this, I think it's like a 7.5 or an
7.5.
8.
Very fair. Very
Yes.
fair. You did say that you
Um,
didn't like at the beginning of the game. You had restrictions on what you
yeah.
had as equipment. Is that right?
All right. But
Mhm.
because it's a simulation game, of course, you need to start at the beginning.
Yeah.
You need to do these challenges to get the lures. I actually got the other
Holy cow!
ones.
It was wrong. The Mekong was 94 pounds. Anyway, go ahead.
It's you need to join tournaments.
Mm,
Sometimes it asks you to like the biggest catch,
mm,
and sometimes you need to catch a specific species of fish.
mm.
uh, And let me show you
Oh yes.
some of my
This is what I'm looking forward to. JDM's biggest catches.
so not specifically biggest catch, but I
Mm,
caught some fish.
what
I
he's
don't.
proud of. The catches that he's proud of. Nice.
Okay, so let me
All right, and of course,
show.
Miss Jane Tadeo says, "Hi, everyone. Hello, Miss Jane. Thanks so much for being here. We're just so sad that Miss I can't be here. I was really looking forward to her reactions to fishing games. That's the thing about us here in Timeless Gamer. We all have our different niches. I bounce around a lot of different niches. Jose is more into the a fighting game genre, if I recall, Jose. Of course, Joe is into JRPGs, and JDM is into classic DOS stealth games. So this challenge episode is all about fishing video games. Turning it back. All right, JDM. Do you have what you're gonna show to us?
Yes,
All
I
right,
already shared it.
all right. And Joe, if you can do us a favor and show us JDM's catches. A walleye, 4.42 kilograms. That's good.
Yeah,
Nice one.
this is. I think this is the first fish that I caught
Hmm.
in the game.
Yeah.
I was trying the tournament
Hmm.
mode.
Hmm.
So the first challenge is to catch um, the total largest total
Hmm.
weight of walleyes.
Yes. That's
But
the thing. That's the thing about fishing video games. Oftentimes, if you want to compete, you are fighting. You are competing based on weight. How you have to catch five kinds of a certain fish, and the overall weight of that kind of fish, like five striped bass or five walleyes, and the total weight of them may be about 50 pounds. The person who has the most weight on all of those five fishes wins the entire competition. Anyway, JDM, was this the one that you were into, the tournament?
uh, it contributed to the weight, but I
Nah.
don't think this is the largest.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, but this one is represented. Oh, a crappie.
Yeah,
Okay, there you go. It's spelled crappie, but it's actually pronounced crappie. I know.
this is a black crappie
Mhm.
that I got because this second challenge is catching as many black crappie. I because I'm about it's a good thing you already pronounce it correctly.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
I might read it incorrectly. So
Yes, no, it's
this is a
pronounced
black
crappie. Yes.
crappie.
Mhm.
Okay. So I was tasked to catch as many of these. I
Mhm.
caught three.
Yeah.
I got this. I got first place in this
Mhm.
competition.
Nice.
The second the second placer got three fishes as well,
Mhm.
but he only got 9.7
Good.
points. I
You were
don't
able
know
to hit
how
him
they
not by weight.
computed it. Maybe they tried to get the total weight and
Mhm.
the length of the fish.
Mhm.
They, but then I got a 10, so I got into first place.
Nice, very good.
I don't know it
Oftentimes,
was
it comes
luck
into
or
those last few ounces. You'd be
mm,
surprised. You'd be surprised of how exciting that last few ounce of weight is. So yeah,
mm.
we have something from Jay Malos here. Nice fisherman jacket, boss JDM. For those of you on the audio podcast, we have two of our panelists wearing fishing outfits, and I really wish that I had thought of the same thing. JDM is wearing a fishing vest, and Joe is wearing his, typical fishing hat and plaid shirt. I love their outfits. Very, very cool. And I'd like to acknowledge Miss Irene Herring on Facebook. Hello, Miss Irene. Thanks so much for being here and listening in to us gush about fishing video games. All right, JDM 7.5 or so. Rapala Pro Fishing, Pro Bass Fishing 2010. what he played was the PS3 version, and I really wish that I have a machine strong enough that I can bring along and play this game on the go all the time. This is the game that resides on my one of the fishing games that resides on my PSP on a permanent basis. If I drive down to Florida, if I have a lot of time sitting around waiting for stuff to happen, that is the game that I'm playing. I can do very quick bouts of fishing. Rapala Pro Fishing 2010 on my PSP. Great, great game. Excellent choice, JDM. All right. In between, I am going to be showing a few fishing video games. I already showed Rapala Pro Bass Fishing on PS2. Also, I want to show that there have been video games in the past on different platforms. There's Super NES, Super Black Bass Pro Fishing. Sad to say, I can't find Bassin's Black Bass. That one is the far superior game, but this one is pretty good too. Super Black Bass on Super Nintendo. There's also Bass Masters Classic on Sega Genesis right there. This one is also a lot of fun. Top-down perspective fishing. This one is going to be Bass Landing on PlayStation 1. This one is relatively like a simulation also, but much more arcadey. This one, Joe, you might like because you're playing as a girl and you are throwing
Oh.
out. It's the view from the back all the time. So I know what you're going to be staring at instead of the rod and the tackle. This one, okay, and one more is going to be on the DS. Professional Fisherman's Tour Northern Hemisphere. So this one is also another good game that you can play on the go. This one is semi 3D because the Nintendo DS made a good effort to do 3D on handheld. They did a good job with this one. A lot of really good gameplay on these as well. All right, now
Is there a Southern Hemisphere to go with that
Southern
one?
Hemisphere they never came out with it. Sad to say, that would have been a lot of the gators, or something.
What's that movie that
You'd
I
get
think
gators
it's
biting? Yeah.
Strange Wilderness that
Oh yeah.
he said that you can only find sharks
Mm.
in two places in the world, not
Mm.
the northern and southern hemisphere.
Yes, that's true. It's very true. Oh my goodness, honestly, a little bit of story. When I went fishing in South Carolina, I actually saw a shark swimming around while I was tossing my line into the sea. It was harrowing, quite. Joe, you have something to say.
Out of all of these fishing video games,
Mm.
for the sake of you people out there watching and listening, why bass?
Surprisingly, bass is a popular choice because of the fact that it puts up a very good fight and it's plentiful. Bass fishing it's almost everywhere you go in the US and in Europe. Bass is very plentiful. It's good eating. When you catch it, you can release it. It tastes good. Bass tastes good, and it puts up a very good fight when it strikes. You really have to fight with it before you can reel it in. Honestly, it's quite exciting as a sport, bass fishing. I'm showing a little bit. I'm showing a photo. If you can share it, if you can share it to the audience, Joe, that would be me fishing off of South Carolina, off of a wharf, and that was the moment when I saw an actual shark swimming out there, out in the water, right there. I think it was waiting for the fish to bite our hooks, and once it saw it there, it was gonna go. Yes. So that was back in South Carolina. But yes, that is the explanation. It puts up a good fight. It tastes good. It's plentiful and bass. But then again, it's not the only thing that's being fished for. There's walleye. There's sturgeon. There's
It's probably the most appealing name. That's why.
Because I'm guessing the bass is like the John Madden of fishing. Like
pretty much,
like
yeah.
like for every football game out there, it's always John Madden football.
And if you go out into the sea, as in deep sea
Always
fishing,
bass.
swordfish is pretty popular, and that swordfish tastes great too. I've tried swordfish. That's really, really good. Anyway, so that was JDM's choice. Excellent. Thanks so much for that one, JDM. I want to move on to Jose. Jose is going to be bringing us something a little bit different this time. Jose, what's your fishing game for this episode?
My fishing game is a little different from your guys' choices. This game, I found it like I think a little bit before I joined Timeless Gamers, and then I'd been bugging Sir Joel to do a fishing episode for a while, and then finally when I got to play it, I realized that it wasn't just a fishing game. This was a fishing horror game.
That's surprisingly getting to be a popular subgenre of fishing, actually. And there's another one I completely forgot where, Dredge is falling into that category. Dredge is a video game where you go out fishing and you start collecting fish, but eldritch horrors start happening. Anyway, continue on, Jose.
So I chose this game because I was intrigued by it because it looks like a Game Boy game. It even has a Super Game Boy type border around it. So the game is very short. It takes place over the course of 3 days, a weekend. And in the game, you actually have to dig for your own worms before you go fishing. So you'll like go around with your little shovel and hit the ground, and the worms will come
game
up.
is this, sorry?
This is Fishing Vacation on Steam.
Fishing Vacation. There you go.
And as the prologue is basically the tutorial. It shows you how to fish, and basically the mechanics of fishing are you can throw the line anywhere you want. Like you can cast in wherever in the lake you want, but there are also places where there's little shadows where it shows that there's a fish, and you can throw it there. And once the fish, you do get a bite, you reel it in by actually spinning the analog or the D-pad if you want, and then the fish will fight back, and then you have to alternate hitting the A and B buttons to get it back to be coming with you. Let me see what else is there.
I like that. I like that it simulates original Game Boy.
Yeah. So as the days progress, stuff does start to happen. You start to notice things, and like you're at a cabin that your friend's uncle lives at, but he's nowhere to be seen. But there is signs that something happened in the cabin. At some point you will start getting weird things happening in the background, or see things on your way back to the cabin. There's even a point where you go night fishing, and you go to catch your fish, and you're go to dig for worms, and the game is like, oh, you hit something, and then it starts to dig out this shape, and it's the shape of skeletal remains, and you're just like, it must be an animal or something, so let's just go fishing. But there is stuff that happens. There's things that watch you from the water. There's like a hand that comes up and grabs your lure or anything like that. And then the game does have 5 endings, and I was able to see every single one. And it just depends on what you actually do throughout the days. There's certain things, like if you choose to not go night fishing with your friend, that's an ending right there. There's a couple endings, like, and the game is actually legit scary. Like, it scared me a few times with what happened. Yeah. And I wasn't expecting it because of the aesthetic of the game. It's just, it looks like a Game Boy game, so you're like, okay, that's what's so scary about this? And if it shows it right here, no, there's a spot where there's something in the trees, and it like goes away.
Let me ask you, Jose, in terms of horror, is it jump scares or is it dread? because there's two kinds of horror. There's jump scares where it jumps out at you and scares you out of your skin. But there's also dread where you know something is around the corner, but you
It
can't help
actually kind of
yourself.
does both. It does
Both,
both, yeah.
really? Ooh, okay, nice.
And I don't want to give too much away,
Hmm.
but like it's really not even like I think it's like $5 on Steam, and there's also
Mhm.
a Switch version. But there's like plenty of things that you can see. Like that's obviously a blood stain on the rug right there.
Mhm.
And even your friend starts to like notice that things aren't going very well in this cabin, and
Mhm.
there's also a book that tells you a story which seems to be linked to what is happening at this cabin. Let me see. Let me pull up my catches. It's not really a big focus on the catches, but it does have some funny things.
I'm looking at the sprites, and they look cute, but for some reason they have this creepy smile in their faces.
Yeah, that's
fuck?
part of it too.
I have to say, I just did a very quick search, Jose, and fishing horror games are becoming a subgenre in fishing games.
Mhm.
Some examples are Gone Fishing.
Gone fishing.
Yes, Gone Fishing. There's Earl's Day Off. There's Fishing Vacation, like you mentioned, and one of them, Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia. That's the one that I was trying to remember. Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia. Those are mostly offered on itch.io, but some of them actually do make the transition to the Nintendo Switch.
Mhm.
And fishing horror games, surprisingly, are getting pretty popular. You chose a good one.
Yeah.
Overall, what do you like about this game, Jose, in particular?
What I like is I like the look of it. That's what it brought me to the game first, was just the look of it being a Game Boy fishing game. And then when I read that it was horror, that like completely sold it. I was like, I got to play this.
Mhm.
It's very simple too, and it's got replayability because of all the endings.
Mhm.
And also like just trying to see like what can you actually catch in this lake,
Oh,
because
that
there's
reminds me. Yes. What type of fish do you normally catch in
that.
this?
Well, if, I'm trying to share the screen if you will allow
Mm.
me, Sir Joe.
Mm.
That way I can show you some of the things you can
All right.
catch.
Jose is going to be showing us his favorite catches on Fishing Vacation.
So this is like one of the first things I caught was this
Oh,
catfish.
okay, catfish. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, 12 inches. That's a good one.
yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And then
A
there's starfish here.
Okay. Mhm.
There's lobsters in
Ooh,
this lake.
lobster. Very cool. Nice. Okay.
There's jellyfish
A
apparently,
15-inch jellyfish. Okay. Mhm.
and then we got a swordfish.
What? How can you catch a swordfish there?
I don't know. This lake,
Okay.
it must be part of the weird paranormal stuff
Fine.
happening
Okay.
here.
A 5-foot
then-
swordfish. Okay.
Yeah, and then here we go.
An
Octopus,
Okay. I can allow. Okay. Fine. An octopus.
and
Okay.
then a
A
sunfish.
sunfish? How the heck are you?
I think that's a deep water.
Yeah, that's a
fish.
deep water fish already.
That's a creek.
And then
That's
right here,
basically Dawson's Creek right there.
Great white.
How the hell are you able to
Hilarious.
catch a sunfish and a shark
I know, a great
and an
white.
octopus for crying out loud?
Oh my goodness.
150 inches?
220 inches. What's 220
I mean,
inches in feet?
The water alone is hardly 150 inches.
I know. Oh my
220 inches for the great shark.
and then the last one, which completely caught me off guard,
Uh-huh.
is an Easter egg that you actually have to do certain things, and every time that you go fishing to make this come up. And it's a little cameo from a character from Super Mario Brothers 2, the USA version.
What the heck is that? A
Wart
Okay.
from Super Mario Brothers 2.
Okay. I got it. Okay.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious! Now I have to get this game. Catching a great white shark in a tiny little lake. Definitely. I'm getting it. Oh man. Okay. So overall,
Who
Jose,
made this game?
uh,
Who
I
was
forget, but I do know that it was part of a fishing horror jam in 2020.
on
right?
itch.io,
I
I
mean,
think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, definitely it's not Nintendo. Otherwise, I
No,
mean,
no.
having Heart over there would have cost
Mhm.
would have cost a lawsuit up the aisles.
I mean, you'd be surprised at the games that they come out with on itch.io. There's a ton of great games there that actually do make the port over to different systems as well. The Switch, the PS5. Good choice, Jose. What would you give it? 1 to 10.
Oh,
How many tentacles?
I would give it 8 tentacles.
8 tentacles out of 10.
8 tentacles out of 10.
Yeah, but is it horror? It's not Cthulhu-esque, is it? Eldritch horror type of horror. It's just generalized horror, right?
It leans toward mythological type horror.
Mythological type. Okay, understood.
HP
And we have
Lovecraft.
Dan Dice 1222 in the audience on Twitch. Dan, hello. Thanks very much for passing by. One of our really, really good friends, Dan Dice. Excellent streamer. You guys should check out his streams. Very, very good. Streams a variety of games. All right. Overall, Jose, Fishing Vacation, definitely putting it into my collection. All right. Now, in between, I am also going to be showing a little bit more of my fishing video games. I did show. I haven't shown Mark Davis Pro Bass Challenge. A lot of PS2. A lot of games actually came out on PS2. You'd be surprised. You might like this.
Natsume.
This one is a Natsume one. Mark Davis Pro Bass Challenge. Natsume was actually very involved in a lot of fishing games. One of their most famous ones, River King. River King is in an offshoot of the Harvest Moon series. River King is you might like that one. It's called Harvest Fishing in Japan. Joe, you might like a River King, but this one is also developed by Natsume. Natsume was known for really, really good gameplay, really, really good mechanics, and fun games back in the day. You might like this one, Mark Davis Pro Bass Challenge, and of course on PS2 there's more. There's Fisherman's Bass Club. Overall, there's Fisherman's Challenge, lots of PS2 fishing games, Rapala Pro Fishing, not the 2010 version. This one is more of going out into the wild and fishing for various kinds of fish. PS2 had a plethora of really good fishing games as well, and you would probably and they're all being sold for cheap. The mechanics vary enough so that they are all unique in their presentation. Of course, there's the common styles of fishing games where rod, lure, tackle, bait, kinds of fish that you go out and find, all different kinds. PS2 had a treasure of fishing games. All right, now I want to hear the ranter. Joe RPG had a particular game that he played and he enjoyed the heck out of. Tell us all about it, Joe. I think you're on mute.
Saying I enjoyed the games is an understatement, but let's go to our sponsors, BitMap and Streamyard first.
All right, let's hear from our sponsors.
Do you like playing video games? Do you like reading about history? Do you like learning about video game history? Then you should give yourself the gift of owning some video game history books from BitMap. Since 2014, BitMap Books have published numerous colorful and well-detailed hardbound books about video games ranging from the different video game consoles of old and the various video game genres that will surely pique the interest of its core fanbase. BitMap's team of global video game journalists, players, and illustrators have produced numerous award-winning titles that celebrate the software, hardware, and developers that laid down the foundations for the billion-dollar video game industry we all know and love today. International shipping is also available with careful and considerate packaging from BitMap Books. If you don't want to take my word for it, then you can believe the people, almost 10,000 satisfied customers who submitted their glowing written reviews and video reviews after receiving their books from BitMap. By ordering your first BitMap book using our link, you will also be supporting the Timeless Gamers Show in spreading our love of video games and their rich history. Start your own online live streams, webinars, podcasts, online classes, and virtual presentations with Streamyard. By using Streamyard's user-friendly interface, you can also do simultaneous multi-streaming if you have accounts to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and other platforms. If live streaming is not your style, video and audio recordings are also available, especially with those who have variable and inconsistent internet connections. The finished output will still come out as clear and well articulated exactly as you originally intended. You can also customize the appearance of your presentation, like green screen effects, facial touch-ups to smoothen out those facial blemishes, multiple cameras for multiple guests joining in the discussion, your own wallpaper on the background, adding your own logo as a watermark, sharing videos from your own computer or other website for added visual aids with or without audio, uploading your own background music if you wish to set the mood when talking, and lots more. Before you can enjoy all of the wonderful full features of StreamYard, you can start with a 14-day free trial by using our link. Not only that you are supporting the Timeless Gamer Show, but you can see it for yourself how easy it is using StreamYard. All right, thank you for that, StreamYard and BitMap Books. So, my turn, I guess.
Yes. I want to hear the rant. Very good.
You want to hear the rant? All right. All right. So when we finally decided to go through with the fishing episode, I thought of doing it RPG style. Because to me, fishing games are like any other simulator games out there. Especially when we did the racing episode, I said maybe I try something with a little bit more RPG elements in there. Eventually, I just went with a straight up, no nonsense, up the ass, car versus pavement, hands on wheel on the hands on the wheel, eyes on the road, racing video games. I tried some of those, and then coming to this topic, I watched some gameplay footages of fishing video games, trying to see if there's a game out there or two that would pique my interest. What I have observed was these games usually just involves the player, the fishing pole, the water, fishes, and the struggle getting said fishes, right? And and I said to our group chat, what else was there to expect? So I said to Sir Joel, maybe I needed a little bit more of a motivation other than just doing the actual sport, I said. So he suggested a video game called River King Mystic Valley for the Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
So it's a fishing video game with an overarching story with RPG tropes, perfect for someone like me. So in that regard, I am now going to talk about my pick for this episode. Real fishing for the PlayStation 1. Okay. So let me just share the footage out there. Real fishing for the PlayStation 1. There you go.
I was so surprised he chose this one. This is, if we're talking hardcore fishing games, he leapt off the deep end right off the bat on this one.
You know what? I should have just stuck with with River King. Oh my god. And okay, so now before I share my story about this game,
yes.
Let me just say that the video games like Real Fishing, this one, for the original PlayStation, should be played in solitary, especially for those people with short fuses and easily get frustrated. This game is for people with patience of a saint. All right, I was about ready to kill a motherfucker. Okay, if anything, this game made me discover that I should not be actually fishing at all in real life, especially with somebody else with me, and we're on the same boat.
Two
You
guys
know,
go out on a boat, one comes back. Okay.
What's this
like,
serial
where's
killer
the other dude?
simulator?
Where's the other dude? Sleeping with the fishes. All right. So the good things I can say about this game. Fuck. Okay. Okay. This game was made by Natsume. Okay, one of the best Japanese video game developers out there. All right,
Yeah.
and I love how Natsume took a more realistic approach with this game, given that given the graphical limitations of the PlayStation One, even back in the late 90s. The overall look of the running bodies of water, the streams,
Oh yeah.
the direction of the currents, the design and the animations of the fishes.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I said this as well in our group chat. There's this calming soundtrack that goes around in the background,
Yes.
which calms the soul, that helps to ease the unyielding rage I was desperately trying to contain playing this game. Uh, in most fishing games at the time of the game's release anyway. So as like for example the ones with Sir Joel and Sir Jose and Sir JDM shown earlier, you'll see some gauges, some meters, some numeric values on the screen that pertains to the different factors that can affect your success rate in catching
Drag,
fishes, right?
tension, things like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Natsume said, "Fuck that! Don't bring all that shit here.
You don't
You
have
don't
gauges
do
in
all
real
that
life.
stuff when you're fishing in real life. Okay, this ain't called real fishing for nothing. This is
Exactly.
real REAL fishing, motherfuckers.
Yes.
It's just you, the player, the fishing rod, your tackle, the water, your bait, then the fishes. Okay, nothing else nothing else on the screen. All right. So you choose your own combination of fishing pole, tackle, hook, and bait. For those people who are not into the lingo, so the tackle basically it serves two things. Number one, that serves as your counterweight. Okay,
Mm,
you just don't throw or cast your fishing pole and your line to the water. That's not gonna get anywhere. You need a counterweight. So the
yes.
tackle is basically your counterweight. So you can throw your fishing line as as far as you can. All right. That's the counterweight. Okay.
Mhm.
And the second purpose of your tackle will be it serve as a like an attraction,
Mm,
like an attraction piece for the
yeah.
fishes.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not enough that you have a bait or a worm or a slab of meat there. You need something to attract the fishes as well. So that's your tackle. All right. Hook for this game. I'm like, oh, there are different kinds of hooks in this game, and I'm like, so what? So what's the difference for each one? Well, it depends. Really, it depends on how curved the hook is, how concave it is,
Yes.
how and how curly it is, how thick it is. So
Mm,
if you're going to pay attention to the screen, you'll see how some of the hooks can be so thin and some of those hooks can be so thick, and apparently it plays a lot in terms of making sure that the fishes don't get away from those from a specific hook, and of
yes.
course the bait. All right, there are different kind of baits here, right? Worms. You
Mhm.
got slabs of meat
Mhm.
and I don't know. I was not sure if those were dumplings or what. Uh, anyway, uh, where was and you better have some drinks and snacks or something to pass the time, because you will be needing it playing this game. All right, because chances are we are fishing in real life, y'all.
Yes.
In real time, we are fishing in real time. Okay,
Mhm.
and what I learned so far from the fishes in this game, okay, in particular, since there are no gauges or meters to aid you, like you can see in the screen right now, you
Mm.
really pay attention to the water. The water itself, you can see the shadows of the fishes there,
Yes.
and it's very understandable. You want to cast your line over
Mhm.
there where the fishes are, but most of the time they won't. They will just swim away. They will just swim around your bait. They will just ignore your bait, and then
Exactly.
you cast again, hoping some idiot fish, some dumb fish would take the bait for you. Uh, oh, and once there's a potential catch, right? So the screen ships you into this inside the water, like you see now, and
Yes.
as you will see the fish approach your bait and hook, each body of water has own designated. Uh, s- each body of water has its own designated species of fish. All right,
Yes.
I forgot to mention that, and each body of water, whether it's a stream or a lake or a creek, uh, you'll see a stream there. You'll see the direction of a stream, and it can carry away your line in said direction. Sometimes it will go forward, uh, 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 pushing forward away. Sometimes it will just swim towards you. Sometimes it goes to the left. Sometimes it goes to the right. So as for the fishes, so like I mentioned, pay close attention. So because some of the fishes here has their own tail.
Yes.
Uh, when I said tail, there's some there's a certain distinct animation of each fishes that you can that you know that they already took the bite. They already took the bait.
Mhm.
Excuse me. That they already took the bait. Okay, so if they do, so the fishes will try to struggle. They will try to swim away. They try to swim away. Don't fight it. Okay, if they struggle, don't fight it. Let them swim away. The camera will speed will speed fast as they
Mhm.
swim away. Don't push any buttons. Just let them tire themselves out, and then eventually the camera will slow down, and that's the time when you press and hold the X button, trying to reel them in
Yeah.
until you get them to the surface,
Mhm.
like as you can see there in the screen. Uh, so sometimes the fish will keep on struggling away from you, so it will be a back and forth match
There's Job right
between you
there.
and the fish. Yeah, like that. Uh, and once you are successful, you will be prompted you will be prompted by the game on how big your catch is, uh, and you want to keep them in your live well or release it back to the water. Live well, basically, it's like a small tackle box where you keep some of your fishes in. It's basically like a Coleman container.
Yes.
When you catch your when you catch some fishes, just put it in there. But unfortunately, though, you can only keep like two fishes at a time inside your live well. If you want to keep them long term, you can go to the menu screen. So you can go back to the cabin. There's two aquariums in there where you can put all of your catches, and you can even name them as an option. Okay, so you can just go back. You can go back for more. As far as I can tell, there are about six water spots in this game. However, it's not all of them are already available to you. You need to unlock all. You need to unlock all six. The first water spot will be available to you, and then once you're able to catch a certain amount of fish on water spot number one, and then you will unlock water spot number two. If you catch a certain amount of fish of that water spot two, then you unlock water spot three, and then so on, so forth. Each water spot has each water spot has its own species of fish. Okay, so it's not like Sir Jose where you can just catch sunfishes, sharks, or lobsters or octopuses on a creek,
Oh,
on a
yeah.
very shallow lake.
That's
No,
hilarious.
right? You'll just catch one type of fish in there. All right.
Mm.
Uh,
And you're gonna be
and
thankful for it too.
uh, each water spot, to my knowledge, is more difficult than the last.
Mm.
And that being said, it also makes the fishes harder to catch as well, because some certain fishes can have these certain idiosyncrasies to successfully subdue them. Like for example, the bitterling. Okay, fuck them. Fuck them in their little ass. So the bitterling basically, they're quite small really, but for in every opportunity that they in every opportunity they will try to snatch away the bait. Their move that I mean they move pretty fast. Like they will smell the bait at first, and if you're not quick on pressing the button in the in the right time, they'll just snatch your bait away and they'll just swim.
Yeah.
And then you'll need to reattach your bait once again. The good thing about this game is that your equipment and all of your items are unlimited.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Even if you break your pole, it's there. You'll have another one. Even
Yeah.
if you break your line, there's another one. If you break your hook, there's another one. If you lost your bait, there's another one. So it's not like
Yeah.
it's not like you go back to the cabin and dig your
Mhm.
own worms again. No,
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
everything's inside there.
Some fishing games like the Rapala Pro Series. No, no. Shoot, I completely forgot.
Whoa.
You have to actually go to a shop in the game and try to buy supplies with all the fish that you caught initially. So if you didn't catch any fish and you broke all of it, you're SOL. But yeah, continue, Joe. That's a really good thing about real fishing.
So I played this. I played this on my Vita. Actually, I just downloaded the e-boot, the PS1 e-boot anyway, and I played it on the Vita because I wanted to. I wanted to play this on the go while I'm at work.
Hmm.
And it, bad idea. Well, if there's okay, if there's if there's another one thing about this game, maybe when I was at work, when I tried to play this, it kept me awake.
There
It
you
kept
go.
me awake in a bad way, not in a good way. Because I'm on the night shift, right? Because I'm on the night shift, so and I was playing this game, so I was already sleepy at the time, and I said, okay, maybe I should play this game while I have the free time. And then af- after a few minutes playing this game, my blood was already boiling
Joe's
out of
blood pressure shot
frustration.
up.
Okay, out of frustration uh, of not catching the fishes right then and there.
Mhm.
Background, okay. Because me, Sir Joel, know this because in
Mhm.
certain JRPGs there are certain fishing mini games in there,
Yes.
and they're quite simple, really.
Extremely
Um,
simple. Yeah. Mhm.
they're quite simple in their mechanics that like 90% of the time you'll be able to catch some fishes. It's a
Mhm.
mini game. It's supposed to be like that, right? But it's
Yeah.
different when the game is mainly focused on the fishing. So I'm used to doing fishing games like quite easily. This one really worn me down, man.
It challenged Joe.
And that is the main challenge of the sport. At least that's
Mm.
the way I see it anyway.
Yes.
So yeah. So for all of you guys who wants no nonsense whatsoever Like no gauges, no meters, no nothing on the screen. It's just you and the fishes. Real fishing, the PS1. There's a sequel for it, Real Fishing 2, and there's also Real Fishing for the PSP.
Mm.
Um, I'm not sure. There's yeah. So there's three, and I think there's also a PS2 version of it as
Yeah.
well.
Mm.
But if you really want uh, to try your luck and try to test your patience, okay, see if you really got what it takes to be an angler.
Yeah.
Okay, an angler, not a fisherman, an
Mm.
angler. That's what we
Mm.
call that's what we call ourselves in the
Yeah.
fishing hole. We
Yeah.
call ourselves anglers. We don't call ourselves fishermen. We
Mm.
call ourselves anglers. Fishermen are those who, those people who uses nets and dynamite.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're a little bit more sophisticated than that.
Yes.
So I looked up because I was like, there's got to be a word for what you were saying when the fish steals your bait,
Mm.
and
What's it called?
I was not expecting this.
Oh, what's the word?
It's called bait raping.
Oh my goodness.
At
Oh,
least
Sounds
there's
about
a
my-
word before that.
Pretty sounds about my game, yes.
yeah. Well, that's the thing, Joe. For somebody who completely went into this blind, it sounds like you really got into it. What is your rating, 1 to 10, of Real Fishing for the PS1? Objectively.
Okay. I'm not gonna give it a bad score just because I'm bad at it. Okay,
Mm.
that's a bit right there. That's a motherfucker right
You're
there.
like
yeah, that's a
crappy,
barrage
no?
thing. Anyway.
Actually, okay, I would probably give it.
Look up
It's a
it
solid
early.
game. Okay, it's a solid game. I would
Mm.
say, for Natsume for coming up with something like this in the PS1. It's because like I mentioned, you're not really relying on the meters to do anything. You're not relying on any other factors. It's just mainly skill.
Mhm.
It's just you and your patience and pushing the right buttons at the right time.
Mhm.
And I probably give it about 9 out of 10 tentacles.
Really?
It's a high score from me.
Really?
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a nice. I mean,
wow.
because if there's
All the
one thing that
complaining,
I
thought
really
it'd be
didn't like,
lower.
why? No, I
No.
didn't because there's only okay. I'm only giving it that. I'm giving it that high, because well, if there's one complaint that I have,
Mhm.
okay. I mean, say what you will about the difficulty.
Mm.
That's the challenge. I mean,
Yes.
not. I mean, this is real fishing. If they're trying to simulate, if the objective here was trying to simulate actual real life fishing, then for me, they achieved that
Mhm.
by doing this game. Okay, trying to emulate the actual behavior of such fishes, trying to incorporate them here, and not to my complaint would be your live well, because your live well can only occupy like 2 fishes.
Mm.
Like, come on. But I'm guessing, if you are like, and I'm trying to think like, so if I'm the angler here, if I'm the angler here, and I'm on a boat, how big should my live well even be?
Sure.
Like, I mean, you cannot really expect to carry out like this big that bulky Coleman container
Very
on a
true.
boat, because
Mhm.
that will also serve as that will ruin the buoyancy of the boat anyway. You'll just sink.
Yeah.
So it's only natural that your live well will only be so small, and unfortunately, you can only carry like 2. So I'm not sure if the sequels can carry more fishes in the live well, but anyway, um, based on the aesthetics
Mhm.
and the mechanics of it, yeah, I'll be fair and I'll say, yeah, 9 out of 10 tentacles.
I'm asking Jose and JDM, did you guys expect Joe to throw out a score like that for real fishing, for something like this? I'll have
I
to ask.
I did not like, especially with all the complaining he did in the group chat. I was like, "There's no way." I was
Yeah, I
expecting
know.
more ranting and a
No, no,
nine.
I mean, I'll be fair. I mean,
Mm,
if the game serve its purpose,
yes. Hmm. How about
then
you,
I'll be
JDM?
fair. I mean, I mean, I'm not gonna trash the game because I'm trashy,
Hmm. Yeah,
because I'm bitching a lot.
yeah, that's true. How about you,
I mean,
JDM?
if there are valid complaints coming from me, I will
Mhm.
tell you guys anyway.
All right. How about you, JDM? Would something like this interest you? Because you've been from that genre of lots of gauges, lots of showing indicators and things like that. Would something like this interest you? The way that Joe presented it, real fishing for the PS1, like
Yeah,
you versus nature.
actually, I would like to try this game. I didn't find about this one for the
Mm-hmm.
PS1. I didn't really know what the fishing games are
Mm-hmm.
in on the PS1. I
Mm-hmm.
just see it in the magazines. I didn't really experience playing them. But this one, it doesn't have um, the bells and whistles
Yeah.
that the other fishing simulation games are.
Mm.
So I might try this
Mm.
later after the show.
Yeah.
It's aesthetically pleasing to the eye because
Mm-hmm.
you see that one the background
Yes.
under the
They're very
water.
realistic.
It's yeah, it's very realistic. It's like a photorealistic. Um, yeah, look
Like.
at that.
Mm-hmm.
And even the the river earlier,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
the running water is like it's really realistic.
Yeah.
It looks pleasing to the eyes. It's like
For.
going for
Mm-hmm.
it's like really fishing, going to the
Mm-hmm. To the
lakes
bukid.
and the rivers.
No, but really, for them to for Natsume to achieve such clarity of graphics and fidelity on a PlayStation One, it's quite impressive, honestly. Yeah, and to show Joe, there is the PS2 version of Real Fishing. That's Real Fishing 3, also by Natsume. And yeah, it's got the same mechanics. I didn't dig as far into it as I could. See, I got that for $5 right there. Again, fishing games, cheap, fun, lots of great fun. And the latest iteration of it that came out is Real Fishing Days of Summer. Same by Natsume, but this time
Wow.
it's much more arcadey. So I think you're gonna find this one much more to your liking, Joe. Real Fishing Days of Summer. You might want to get this one. And to show that it's all on different platforms as well, there's also the Fisherman Fishing Planet for PlayStation 4. It's got 35 DLCs on it already. And of
There's a
course,
fan.
Rapala Fishing Pro Series on PlayStation 4 just for $15. This one is much more arcadey. This one also showed up on the Switch. Sorry about that. This one showed up on the Switch. So you guys might be able to get that as well. Speaking of the Nintendo Switch, it's got a plethora of really good fishing games as well. I would say, Joe, you might like the games on the Nintendo Switch. Fishing Star World Tour. There's also Real Fishing that also showed up on the Switch, Road Trip Adventure, and some arcadey type, Fishing Paradiso. That's where basically you're at the afterlife already. You died, and for you to be able to enjoy your afterlife, you have to go fishing. You might enjoy that one. So we have some people in the chat. Siebert says, imagine we were kids during that time. Would you pick this one up on the shelves? Definitely not. Bold move to create a game where like the game like this during that time, especially when the target gamer for fishing aficionados at the time were only a few. Yes, that's very true, Siebert. Excellent point because of the fact that you'd think that a lot of the game players during that time got interested in fishing are the old folks like me. Jay Mallow says, "Do you use accessories when playing fishing games?" Some do. Some video game players actually do. I wasn't able to bring down my unit of the PS1, PS2 reeling accessory. It's there. Yes, Joe, you were about to say.
I saw a fishing reel for the Dreamcast earlier
Oh yes.
at my local retro
Mhm.
video game store. It's $99, and I'm like,
Oh, that's
do
a
I
lot.
mean
Really?
even and I'm like, should I buy this game? I mean, should I buy this? I'm like, but
Mhm.
I don't have any more time to play like the
Yeah,
Dreamcast bass
exactly.
fishing
Yeah.
anyway. So I
Mhm.
just ignored it for now.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, the thing about it is the Dreamcast did come out with Sega Bass Fishing and Sega Bass Fishing 2 and Marine Fishing. That accessory, the Dreamcast accessory, will work on that. But yeah, it's sad to say the Dreamcast didn't get as big of a library on fishing games as it could have had. Siebert says, "At my age now, though, I might try this and make fun out of it. But the younger me, upon this release, I might ignore it." That's true. That's true. During that time, a lot of us really completely ignored the genre. And
Uh,
yeah, right now, I would say at our age, at this stage in our life, you might find it interesting, Siebert. And for all of the audience, you guys might enjoy it too. Now, I'm going to present my choice of
oh,
fishing game for this
sorry,
episode.
Sir
Yeah,
Joel.
go ahead.
I'll just interject here.
Go ahead.
I'll
Go ahead.
just show you guys the my current record,
Yeah.
just so you know that I'm not lying.
I'm not
I'm not
watching any
pulling your
video.
lures. Okay, I'm not pulling your poles. All right, I'm not pulling your rods. Okay, I hope you
Mm.
can see this.
Uh,
No, of course.
just a
I'll
little,
turn off my
just describe
I'll
it.
turn off my green screen.
Okay. Okay.
There you go.
Yep.
Nope.
That's a
Nope.
countdown. Okay. There you go.
Okay. Can you see that?
A little bit. Yeah. Okay. I can see it.
No. There you go. A little bit. There you go. So
A
the first
trout.
one, there's a trout.
Yeah. And a
Ah,
crab.
god damn it. And well, the first one is a trout. It says 13.8 inches. Well, you have it in you
Nice.
have it in the group chat anyway. It's
Mm.
13.8. That's the largest trout that I got
Yes.
from
Nice.
stage one.
Nice one.
Stage two has the char,
Char.
and it says
Okay.
19.7
Oh, that's a
inches.
big one. I have.
That's what
I
she
don't.
said.
And then
I don't know the
that's the
char. I didn't know the chars got that big. I thought they were just usually around 6.
see that's a monster. That's a monster fish.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
is.
char is for the
Mm.
char is on the uh, stage two.
Mhm.
Stage three is the bitterling.
Uh-huh.
No, fuck this fish.
Yeah.
The biggest one that I got is 3.1,
Uh-huh.
and then on stage four is the carp,
Carp.
and the biggest I got was 17.7
Ooh,
17.7 inches
nice.
for the carp.
Mhm.
So I'm all up to stage four as of the
Nice.
moment because that's all I could tolerate.
Yes, honestly, Joe, you might want to try some of the latter games, the Real Fishing Road Trip Adventure and Real Fishing Days of Summer. You might enjoy that one because it has a storyline, it has a plot, it has three teenagers going off on a road trip adventure, and crafting. You craft your tackle and your lures as well off of trash that you pick up off of your adventures. So it's got RPG elements to it, and you might like it. All right, so it comes down to me. What are my choices? I've shown you a huge bunch of fishing games, and honestly, I've given out a lot of other different options as well. So in terms of sad to say, the one thing about it is a lot of fishing games coming out are now digital. They're not coming out with physical versions of it. So as much as I would love to collect them, some of them are not going to be available physically anymore. But I've been going back in previous generations, and my fishing game for this episode is going to be something off the beaten path. It's not going to be bass fishing. It's going to be marine fishing. It's going to be saltwater sports fishing for PS1. I got this for $10. This one is where you go fishing for the big stuff. We're talking like marlins. We're talking like swordfish. We're talking like tuna. If you've ever watched a TV show called Wicked Tuna on Netflix or on this fishing channel, Seaman on the PS1 is no.
Dream
No.
Team.
No, that is more of a Siebert, that is more of a life simulation game or whatever weird thing that is. There you go. Yes, Joe, you're about to say something. Oh,
No, 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 no. You're right. It's more of a it's more like a Tamagotchi game, if
mhm,
anything else.
mhm. Yes, it's more like a Tamagotchi game. Now, this one, saltwater sport fishing, we're talking like this is the big leagues. You go out into the ocean, you go fish for the big stuff like marlins. You go for like a yellowfin tuna, like a mahi mahi. This is where you go out and fish for the big stuff, and it's on the PlayStation One. When you, we're talking like 180-pound lures. We're talking like we're 180-pound tackle. It's just the line can handle 180 pounds worth of tension. That is saltwater sports fishing. If you can show some footage on that one, Joe, saltwater sports fishing on PS1. I had a ton of fun with this because I've gone through a lot of bass fishing games. I've gone through a lot of different like Joe, real fishing or sports fishing, things like that. That's good stuff. But this one, when you play this one will challenge your mettle as an angler because if you watch the show called Wicked Tuna on Netflix, this one is we're talking like you're not just putting up bait like worms. You're putting up entire mackerels, and this one you're basically casting out a gigantic set of rod and reel, and you have to judge whether the fish out there are going to bite into it because they might not like the lure or the tackle or the bait that you throw out. And when it's a real possibility of your line breaking all the time, you have to gauge if you're looking at a monster fish that you have to hook, like a swordfish, which can run up to 800 pounds. You have to be a good judge of how much tension your rod can handle. And it's not just the fact that it's underwater. These fish jump out of the ocean and fight you to the very end because they are fighting you, not just you, but your entire boat as well. Because the whole boat is essentially, like Joe says, your tackle. That's your counterweight. If you tried to catch these fish bare armed, you'd break they'd rip your arms out of their sockets, really. But yes, JDM saw me play this game. It's surprisingly tense when you're trying to lure that fish. And of course, there's a time limit. You can notice at the bottom right of the boat, because it for real, when you're out in the ocean, you are constrained by time. You're constrained by resources. You're constrained by the daylight. Yeah, you can't be out there for way too long because when you run out of supplies, you might get stranded. You can't just walk back to the lodge. This one, if you run out of time or supplies, you're gonna have to call the Coast Guard to haul you back to shore. So this one has a time limit. This one, you're judging the weight of your tackle. And I am going to be showing my catch on this one. Let me just share the image file. My one of the challenges that I did with one of the things that I asked to do in this episode is to show our biggest catches. So, Joe, if you can put up the picture that I shared on screen, that is the biggest catch that I made with, ignore the signages on the left. 1,174 marlin. I am extremely proud of this. JDM was there when I caught this fish. We're talking like this. This was, I think, a 10-minute battle of.
Oh, okay. So you see, that is more believable
Yes, because you're out in the
than.
ocean.
Uh, I mean, that catch is more believable on the open
Uh-huh.
sea rather than
Mm.
on on a stranded lake.
Uh-huh, that's true. But a 1,174 pound blue marlin. I am most proud of that catch because of the fact that I fought that blasted thing for a long time, and when I hauled it in, finally I was able to get that. But Joe was there for this one. Jomar, ano kaguluhan to? Jomar, we're talking about fishing games. I am going to be uh, showing this one. Joe was there for this one. I caught this one. It is a 40-pound
Ah,
striped bass on Bassmaster Fishing 2022. Joe was
That
there.
is Sir Joel, actually, by the way.
There you go. Exactly. And the bad thing about it though was during this competition, this lunker did not count. Because they were only looking for largemouth bass. This striped bass did not count towards my final tally, but look at that. I got that on Bassmaster Fishing 2022. So yes, that is so those two are my proudest catches in fishing games. Siebert says, I remember relaxing doing fishing and earning money on Red Dead Redemption 2. Yes, Red Dead Redemption 2
Oh,
also
really?
has
There's fishing on RDD too.
there's fishing.
Hmm.
Far Cry, Red Dead Redemption 2. You would be
Oh.
surprised how many modern games have fishing as a side quest nowadays. So overall, yes, fishing games are extremely varied when it comes to what platform you're looking for, how much of a simulation you're looking for. There's everything from the arcade portion or very arcadey portion. Wicked Tuna has an arcade game. You'd be surprised. I played it. It's a lot of fun, but of course, it's a quarter muncher. You'd lose your money playing through it. So, and of course, there's hardcore fishing, which Joe jumped into. Surprisingly, I recommended him an RPG style that he would like. He jumped into the deep end, real fishing on Natsume on the PS1. So overall, um, final words. I'd like everybody to pitch in what they have to say, and of course, I'm tossing it back to Joe. Jose,
Oh, you want me? Sir
let's hear
Jose, go first.
let's hear Jose's final thoughts on the matter.
On Joe's game or just
Yes,
fishing? in
on no
general?
on fishing video games overall.
Um, you know, I didn't really like play a lot of fishing games growing up.
Mhm.
I'd always see them. And when I actually saw people playing them, that they looked like they were having a good time.
Mhm.
And then after this episode, I'm already like adding things to my watch list
Oh my
on
goodness. Okay.
on eBay. So because like the real fishing games are really cheap.
Yes, they are.
So I already have like them all waiting there for me to buy.
To check out.
'Cause I,
Okay.
'cause I really like the look, like how Sir JDM was saying how it's like photorealistic. It's like actually an actual lake or
Mhm.
river or whatever,
Yes.
and and it looks like I was looking at the Wii entry. It still looks like that.
Yeah.
And then that's just I don't know what it is about that like aesthetic. It's very pleasing and nice to see. So that's what's kind of getting me into this series of games. And then seeing like the Sergio ADM's pick too, that looks like it'd be really fun to try.
Yes, that was good.
And then the games you showed off also look really fun. So I kind of want to play those. And then I kind of want to jump back into that fishing horror genre and see what else they
There's
have
a
to
lot.
offer.
There's a lot. Jose, you might enjoy the ones that I mentioned earlier.
Gun
Dredge,
fishing.
and
Yeah,
Dredge and gun fishing.
Dredge.
mhm. Yes. All right. Nice thoughts. How about you,
I
JD?
mean, because I saw the gameplay for gun fishing because I was curious too. With gun fishing, it's like you're fishing, but Slender Man is right behind you.
Pretty much, yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yes, non-fishing. And it's got PS1 type of graphics too, so you might enjoy that one. JDM, final thoughts on fishing video games.
So fishing games, I didn't realize I enjoy it, because I think the reason why um, people doesn't
If I
like
can
playing.
interject, JDM plays hunting games too. He plays the
Mm.
Cabela series of hunting games. So I was kind of thinking that he would be inclined towards this. Anyway, continue, JDM.
Yeah, I was about to try those Cabela games for the PS2, but sadly it doesn't work. I don't know what's the issue with it, but um the thing with fishing games, like in real life, I don't think people understand what fishing is. They just see people when they see fishers or anglers, it's just a man waiting for fish to bite. So they thought it's just like waiting for a very long time, but actually there's like I say, like a bit of psychology in it. um it's man versus nature.
Yes.
um some people fish because they would like to get away from like city life, and they just want to relax
Mm.
and like um be somewhere really feel where they could feel alone
Mm.
or have some alone time.
Yes.
And yeah, I didn't really realize that I would be like be into this fishing game. So
Mm.
if you have the time, um, play some fishing video games
Mm.
just to experience it for yourselves.
Yeah.
Well, what do you know? You might like it, you might not, you
Mhm.
might hate it more, but at least you experience it, right? Not just by
Mhm.
hearing people talk about
Yes.
their
Oh,
perceptions of fishing
and
game.
if you guys have Epic Games, I think a lot of you might have been collecting the free games on Epic Games. One of them might be in there. It's a game called Call of the Wild the Angler.
Oh yeah, I
It's a
have it.
modern fishing video game. That one is about as close to real fishing in terms of realism. And like JDM says, going out into the wild and really just enjoying the atmosphere of being all alone and you versus nature. That one, you guys might like to try that one. Call of the Wild the Angler. Check your Epic Games library if it's there for free. If it's not, it might have been given away in one of the other ones like Amazon Prime or one of the Steam giveaways. Check it out. Give it a run. You guys will enjoy that. Joe, I want one of the final words to be from you.
Right. Uh, I was wrong.
Hmm?
The first simulator game that we did on this show was the farming game,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and again, it's Sir Joel's topic. And just like I mentioned before, even then, uh, the simulator games for me, I, I had this kind of prejudice with them because with simulator games you can just actually do them in real life. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean.
Very true.
Especially with fishing, and one of the things probably that I can think of why people or gamers even the mainstream gamers anyway uh, tend to disregard this subgenre is because they think that it's just a simple cast the line, reel the fish. That's it. It was because to me they were pretty much simplified at the time during the 8-bit era. But bullshit, there's a lot more nuances into it. Okay, it's not just you casting your line and then 1, 2, 3, you already got a fish. No, it ain't like that. It's nothing, barely anything like that. Okay, uh, there's a lot more into it. Okay, into this, into the sport of fishing. All right, uh, and really, to those people who find enjoyment in this subgenre, really, uh, you you guys have right like real stone cold patience in either you just got used to it by now, okay. uh anyway, Sir JD mentioned before, uh it's either you want to cleanse your palate playing hardcore violent video games and you just want to do some fishing, you know, like a palate cleanser, as we say, or you just or you just want to play you want to play something violent because you already felt the rage playing fishing games, feeling so frustrated playing fishing games that you want to try something else. Uh, uh, you want to channel that anger into something to fighting games,
Yes. Or
which
FPS.
idea anyway.
Mhm.
So yeah, fishing games to me, um, I didn't expect how how would what's the best polite word that I can put it. Uh, I was able to get past through stage 4. It got me interested enough to stay up to stage 4 in real fishing for the PS1. Le- I'll keep it at that. Okay. If the game was so bad, or if if I was that bad in playing the fishing game, then I would have just forget about it, tried another game. But no, for some weird macabre reason, I persevered for as much as I could. But anyway, uh, like I mentioned, uh, I'm more on to the mini game aspect of the fishing games in small doses. That's all I can take. But this is a game changer in more ways than one. Back to you, Sir Joel.
No,
I
it's
think
very fair. And yes, JD, you're about to say. Go ahead.
I think Sergio like entered Zen mode while playing real fishing
I
because
agree.
I had to.
yeah,
I had to. I'm like,
because
clear the
by
mind.
just at the first stage or the second stage he could have thrown the Vita away, right? but but he endured, which is
Yeah.
I think which
I
is
have to
really
give him
good.
props for that. The fact that Josh stuck it out, gave it the a full honest try. I have to give him props for that. Honestly, I commend everybody here for rising up to the challenge of trying the fishing video game challenge and putting up their responses. I know fishing video games is not for everybody. It's not something that a lot of people will consider as a solid video gaming genre, but surprisingly, I have delved into it. I have enjoyed it. I am planning on making a mini documentary series about the entire game genre. You guys might want to pitch in on your contributions. But yes, thank you so much to everybody here who participated in the challenge. I applaud every single one of you guys, and I thank you guys for giving it a try. And for the audience, you guys will at least see the how varied the games are in terms of what can be played with. You see
Oh,
video. Oh, go ahead. Mm.
another thing. Do not let our opinions persuade you otherwise.
Mm.
Whether we said something good or we said
Mm.
something personally bad about the video games,
Yes,
hopefully that does not affect your judgment
absolutely.
on trying this out.
Mm.
Okay, we showed you our picks.
Yes.
Hopefully, you're interested enough in giving them a try,
Mm.
especially with Sir Siebert down there. He likes horror.
Yeah.
He might want to try fishing vacation or dredge or
Yeah.
gun fishing,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Very true. Again, we are here to expose people into all the different kinds of things that can be played, and you guys will might broaden your horizons giving it a try, or you guys might come away from it saying it's not for me. That's perfectly fair. All we're doing is letting you guys know that there's a lot of different things there aside from what you already know, and you might come away the richer for it. Anyway, it's time to trying to bring it back home. Joe, take us home.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir Joel. Wonderful masturbating this episode. My captain, my captain.
Yeah.
Sir Joel. Oh no, Sir JDM. Where can they touch your grass?
Yes. 123 Go Retro on Facebook and on Twitch. I don't usually go live streaming recently, but still stay tuned, especially on my YouTube channel, because I'm planning to review games and do video game reactions. I'm still trying to write some script and pre-recording, so I could upload it like daily or weekly. So stay tuned for that. And I hope you enjoyed our honest reviews of fishing games. Um, as the guys mentioned, there's a lot of variety of fishing games. There's arcade style simulation. There's even a horror game with while fishing. And whenever I hear gun fishing, I thought it's uh, a person with a big ass gun and shooting fishes. But when I, when I check it, it's gone fishing. So Gone. That's it. So try to experience it. Fishing games. It will catch up soon,
Yeah.
sooner than you think.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir JDM. How about Sir Jose? Where can they touch your grass?
I'm on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all under Dark Gothic Fate. And I haven't really been posting or doing much, but that's where you can catch me whenever I do get back to it.
And Jose is
Alright.
currently shopping on eBay.
Yes,
there.
I am. I am.
I could hear the clicks.
That is why he is so preoccupied the whole time.
That's fine. That's fine. You know, that's cool
Sir
too.
Joel, where can they touch your grass?
Oh my goodness. Okay, fine. You can always catch me here on Timeless Gamer. I do my very best to be in every episode unless life gets in the way. And yes, you'll also find me uh, you'll also find me on my twitch.tv channel, sometimes doing fishing games, sometimes doing racing games, sometimes doing a variety of games that are available on Game Pass or whatever catches my fancy. For this weekend though, things are a little busy. I am going to my daughter's competition, Generations of Dance, over in Star Power, over in Meadowlands Expo Center here in NJ, and I'm going to be cheering her on all throughout the weekend. But yes, Timeless Gamer Show here. You'll find me on twitch.tv, hashtag FUFB, and a lot of other different platforms that I'm going to be trying out as well, like Rumble or kick.com. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Fishing Video Games. For all of you guys who are on the Fishing Memes and Fishing World Facebook groups who I shared the game the episode to, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a try, and I hope you guys check out other episodes of the Timeless Gamer Show, because we talk about a lot of different things here too. Back to you, Joe.
Thank you for that, Sir Joel. And like Sir Joel mentioned about the fishing Facebook groups out there, I hope we did not embarrass Sir Joel in front of you guys. I hope we didn't make asses of ourselves.
Yeah.
So for violent reactions, violent remarks, violent suggestions, or anything violent in between, you can touch the grass of the Timeless Gamer Show by going to our email address, timelessgamers.show.gmail.com. That's timelessgamers.show. I lost. Timelessgamer.show@gmail.com. There you go. Or just go ahead, just visit our goddamn website, timelessgamers.com. It's simple as that. All right. So, on behalf of Miss Hinu, Sir Drew, Sir Viraj, Sir Dan, Sir Eric, and Miss I. Like, I think she's on her trip at the moment, going to Indonesia. Have a safe trip, Miss I. We will see you the next time. And that's it, guys. Thank you all so much for staying this long. Sir Siebert, Sir Jomar, thank you, Sir Sir
Jay
Danday,
Mallows,
Malos, of course.
yes, and Yeah.
And Calamity
Talent
Grid,
Reach.
Kurt Labrado, and Sir Marlon, and
Anton Paco, thanks for being here. Thanks, guys.
Anton Paco. Yes. Our games and our bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain. Hey.
Timeless. All right. Happy fishing, you guys. Happy weekend. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. See you guys next week. Bye.
Don't eat your bait.